Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the Full Pour, serving you guys up nothing but straight action for the weekend ahead. Peyton, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Ready to get into the show. We got jam-packed action for you. But before we get into all that action, guys, please make sure that you go back and watch all of our videos from this week. We got the Monday show with the weekend hangover. We got the Tuesday show as well. So make sure you catch our lives each and every week right here on YouTube. If you have not already, please make sure you smash that subscribe button. We need all you guys to go ahead and get into the comments, man, and continue the conversation with us, man. Are you expecting some big things this weekend, Peyton?
Oh yeah, it's another big football weekend right before basketball season ramps up. One last time,
Yeah.
We got a huge football weekend ahead of us. So
we are actually getting really excited for basketball season to come around.
We are.
It's going to be a big season. And not to get into that too much, but we got a lot going on this week. For you guys that don't know already, some of the segments that you can catch in today's episode would be Would You Rather? We got the Game of the Week. We got the Coach 'em Up segment where we pick one team and coach them up to victory. That's probably one of my favorite segments.
Yeah.
And then we have Pick and Play where we choose 3 weapons from different teams, and we expect them to have a big game over the weekend. So by all means, man, y'all sit back, relax. Peyton, what we drinking today, bro?
Well, I was about to say, don't forget to tell the audience to pour one up too, because that's what we're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so
While he introduces the drink of the day, man, y'all go ahead, grab a drink, relax.
yeah,
Let's get to it.
We have the 5th different edition of Evan Williams, okay? Another different type of Evan Williams. It's the Evan Williams Fire, but it's chilled.
This is icy hot. We drinking icy hot today.
Yeah, so I'll read the description again. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey blended with cinnamon liqueur and caramel color. I don't know. I have a feeling about this one. You know that the apple is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite so far?
I'm with you. The apple is pretty much my favorite.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, this probably gonna taste a bit like Fireball.
Yep.
But you know what's crazy about that? It's very fitting because it's getting kind of cool now with fall around and it's chill outside. So this is gonna warm up our weekend and get us started right.
No doubt
I'm
about
with
it.
it for sure.
Yeah.
Whether you're gearing up for a tailgate, kicking back with friends, watching our podcast, it really don't matter. Evan Williams Fire brings you just the right amount of burn to keep the night lit. So you guys go ahead. If you haven't already, pour yourselves up a drink. We're going to do our first toast like we always do. And then we're going to get into the action, man.
Yes.
Right after the intro, we'll be right back, man.
Let's do it. Another one.
Yes, sir. Ooh.
You already know it.
While I get the burn out of my chest from this fire
Just like
whiskey,
you said,
right?
it's getting a little colder outside. You got to warm the inside up.
That's exactly what just happened, man.
Yeah.
Peyton, I heard you got something to say to the people, bro.
I do, man. And I had this rant planned for a couple of weeks ago, but let's get it out now. Okay. So, Russ, have you ever noticed that some people, stereotype sports fans as people that are really into statistics?
Okay.
Right? So
I've never heard that, but...
You haven't?
No.
I've heard it quite a bit. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you feel the same way that I do in that we don't want to be known as the stats guys.
Right.
Right. In fact, we want to be the opposite of those guys.
For sure.
Because we believe that even sometimes the numbers do in fact lie.
They do, indeed, especially in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd rather be known simply as the guys that just watch all the games closely.
Yes.
Every weekend we're glued to the TV. And here's why. In the 2023 season, okay, so we're talking about an entire season for a sample size.
Yep.
Here are some quarterbacks that finished outside of the top 10 when it came to passer rating.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guess who it was, actually.
Quarterbacks who finish outside
of the top 10. In my opinion, you've got 3 of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Okay, so when it comes to passer rating, it's more about how effective you are during the game. So like I guess the completion percentage goes into effect here, how much you turn the ball over and so forth and so on. So I'm assuming that these quarterbacks are gunslingers. So the first person that comes to mind would be Josh Allen.
He was one of them.
Okay.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
He's really good.
Outside of the top 10.
Definitely a threat. Another gunslinger in the NFL. Let's go with CJ Stroud.
I don't know about him.
Okay.
But that was a good guess.
Okay.
He may have been outside of the top 10 as well.
Okay. And I'll take one more guess.
All right.
If I was to guess another quarterback, how about Lamar Jackson?
He was in the top 10, but
Okay.
I'll tell you the two I was thinking of.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
Man, why did I not say Pat Mahomes?
I don't know. It was on the tip of your tongue.
I give him too much praise, man. Pat Mahomes is great, but he is a gunslinger to your point. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So you're talking about those three guys outside of the top 10. Here are some guys that were inside of the top 10 for passer rating. Jake Browning, who actually played a good bit because Joe Burrow got hurt, so he finished out the season for the Bengals. So there was a large sample size there.
And to that point, Jake Browning, he was doing everything that he could do to not ruin the season, if that makes sense. So he played safe ball. Yeah.
And Russell Wilson, who got benched by the end of the season and hasn't played a game yet this season. So
it's coming.
It's coming.
Pause. But it is. Yeah. It's about to happen.
Real quickly, let's go to a different position.
Yeah.
We'll throw quarterbacks out.
Okay.
Let's go to running back.
Okay.
Russ, do you know who was second in the league in rushing yards through the first 4 weeks of the season?
This season?
Yeah, this season.
Jordan Mason.
That's right.
Yes.
He was undrafted. And that's not to doubt or
say that he's a bad player. Right.
But he was undrafted, and he's an unknown commodity to this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's second in the league in rushing yards. You know who was 20th?
20th? Oof.
Yeah,
rushing
way
yards.
down the list.
Man, I can't even think that far.
One of the most talented backs in the league, Bijan Robinson.
Oh, okay. But Bijan he's been struggling in rushing yards. He's a dual threat running back, so he's good as a receiving back, and he's also a threat, with the handoff. So I can see, and it's not like the Falcons have been having the most amazing season this year.
Fair.
But with that being said, it is surprising to see that Bijan sitting that low in rushing yards.
And then I just got one more.
Okay.
So, and this was just for fun. I looked this up today. 4 of the top 5 teams in this category do not have a winning record. The teams with the best defenses in the NFL based on yardage.
Okay.
The Titans, Jets, Broncos, and Dolphins don't have a winning record, but according to the stats, they're great when it comes to defensive yardage. So my point is, as the Sportaholics and as guys that like to sit at the bar, talk shop, talk sports, we build a corner for statistics, but that's not the substance that we're based off of.
Yeah, let me go ahead and piggyback off of you just a bit here, man. To be honest with you guys, we want to see fun, competitive football, and we said that before. By all means, we know that numbers don't tell the whole story. Just like when you see a game that has a blowout ending or whatever the case may be, it doesn't really tell the whole story when it comes to the first half or the second half of how close that game was or competitive that game was. So we can't always look at the numbers. We have to take the whole story and dictate how we feel ourselves when it comes to that. So that's a great point, Peyton. Numbers don't always tell the whole story.
They don't, man.
Yeah.
With that said, let's get to our segments, man.
Yes,
what about Would You Rather? I don't know what this is, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Peyton. So, Would You Rather, guys, if you want to join the conversation, by all means, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. So, let's go ahead and jump into it. Peyton, would you rather win a Super Bowl or an NBA championship?
Wow, how about that one?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay, you know what? Because you came up with the question and you got to think about it a little bit, I'm gonna let you answer first.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go.
All right.
You go first.
All right, here we go. I would rather win an NBA championship.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So the reason why I chose the NBA championship is because of the global element that basketball has. I would rather be the champion of the world. And with the NFL, honestly, American football is only played in America. So you can't really say that you're it's not even an Olympic sport. So I would rather win an NBA championship, to be honest with you. And you have to, and in order to make it to the NBA, you have to really be one of the best players in the world nowadays. So
you've got a point there. There's a quarter of the amount of players in the NBA that there are in the NFL.
Yes.
So
I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
And this is what I base my answer off of as well. Like, you have so many levels of the NBA, right? You have the NBA, the actual NBA, and then you have the G League, and then you have the G League affiliates, and so on and so forth. So there's so many levels to basketball. And then if you think about all the levels of college basketball, to make it to the NBA is so much harder than it is to make it to the NFL. You know what I mean? And there's different avenues of American football, and I am not going to really count Canadian football because the rules are different, but it's technically the same thing. But you have the XFL, and that's pretty much it. The Europe League doesn't exist anymore. So I really went with the NBA championship on this answer.
Okay.
All right. I gave you time to think about it.
Yeah,
I gave you time to think about it.
And I was listening and thinking at the same time, but
okay.
I'll go the other way just for fun.
Oh, no. What's your honest answer? I don't want you to go for fun.
Well, the reasoning behind me saying winning an NFL championship is, what was the premise of the question? More special or harder, or?
No, which would you rather? Yeah, which would you rather?
I would say an NFL championship, because the buzzword that everyone always uses around NFL conversations is that it's hard to come by wins in that league.
It really is.
I mean, no matter who you are, no matter what coach you are, no matter what quarterback you have, it's hard to come by wins, especially in the playoffs against the best coaches and the best teams.
Okay.
So I think that championship ring in that league holds a lot of weight because of that reason. I think in the NBA, oftentimes you have dynasties, and it's a little more easy and effortless. Like for the 2017 Warriors,
Is it though? Is it? Because think about all the games that come down to last second buzzer beaters.
That's fair.
How many buzzer beaters do we see versus how many Hail Marys do we see? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that it's easier to come by wins in the NBA than it is in the NFL. I will agree with you that the NFL might be a harder level of competition than it is in the NBA, just based off the sport alone. It's a hard sport to play. Yeah. That's why you play 3 games in a week in the NBA, but you only play 1 game in the NFL. Right. So, yeah, the NFL may be a more tougher sport to play, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easier to come by dubs in the NBA than it is in the NFL.
You know what? That's a good point, because even when you think about your Miami Heat in 2013, if Ray Allen doesn't hit that shot in the corner...
Same thing. When Toronto won the championship, Leonard hit that shot
in the second round against the Sixers.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. And the ball bounced off the rim like 5 times.
Yeah.
That is one of the most iconic shots that I've seen in my lifetime.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget it.
No.
So I'm not saying that just to vouch for my point, but that the same thing goes with the Plexico Burrs helmet catch.
Sure.
Like there's so many things that happens in the NFL in crucial moments.
Yeah.
But that's why I took the global element of it. Yeah. Just because it might be a little harder to get in the NBA than it is to get in the NFL. So
I like that. I like that conversation.
All right. So I got a follow-up question for you here.
Okay.
All right. So I thought you was going to side with me on this, so I kind of prepared a follow-up question.
All right.
So would you rather win an NBA championship or a gold medal?
Oh. Okay, quickly in my mind, I just answered NBA championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going gold medal here.
Okay.
I think the gold medal holds more value than an NBA championship. It's
Maybe to your point, because basketball has come such a long way globally, that there's, even today, there's more competition when you play in the Olympics in that sense. I mean, shoot, this past Olympics, what was the USA down 13 going into the fourth quarter versus whoever it was, France? So, yeah. That's a good point. I like that.
I'm gonna just go ahead and take. I would rather win a gold medal.
Yeah.
And I guess.
Yeah, mind frame.
Yeah, my thought process in this whole thing would be, Carmelo Anthony doesn't have any NBA championships, but he has gold medals.
Fair.
You know what I mean? And nobody would say that he's not a Hall of Fame player.
Absolutely.
You know, so I would prefer to win both.
Yeah, sure.
But
right.
You know, like look at KD. KD has 4 gold medals, and he also has what? Two NBA championships. That right there alone is heavy weight. You know what I mean?
Heck of a resume.
So by all means, but I would definitely.
That's interesting.
And it comes around every 4 years. Yeah. So you know, it's not like you can win that every year.
Yeah.
And to have multiple gold medals, man, sign me up any day.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the next segment, man.
All right.
That was pretty much that was pretty fun.
It was.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you chose NFL, like the Super Bowl though. Me being a football player, I wanted to go Super Bowl, but I was just thinking like, the NBA is really like, you're really like the world champion.
I think the reason I leaned NFL is because right now America's sport is football.
You're right. Yeah. But the world sport is basketball.
Either basketball or soccer.
Yeah, and soccer. Yeah.
So that's fair. I like both of them.
All right, here we go. Game of the week, Peyton.
Oh, okay.
The must-watch games for the weekend. We're gonna break down some of the games that we think gonna be top tier. Matchups for the weekend, and figure out who will win and what they got to do to get there. So,
you want me to start with this college football game?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
I didn't pick college today, so yeah. Let's go with that.
So 3:30 Eastern on ABC, Alabama at Tennessee.
Tuned in.
I picked this one because it's not early enough in the day where people are still getting their yard work done. They're running errands. It's not late in the day where you're going to a party. It's right in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you might be like your third beer in by that. Though,
yeah, you're going to turn it on. You're going to have it on the TV.
Yeah.
And by the way, this game 2 years ago, if you didn't get to catch it, Alabama at Tennessee 2022.
Yeah.
Just go put on the highlights and listen to the crowd. That's what you call a big time SEC crowd.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
107,000 strong in Neyland Stadium. That's what we live for, okay? But at the moment, Alabama is a 3-point favorite in this game, okay? Each have one conference loss. Okay? The total. Now, you know I like my totals, right?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
The total's sitting at 56.5. It's pretty high.
Yeah.
Considering Tennessee struggled on offense, Alabama sputtered at times, Jalen Milroe throwing some interceptions here and there. Okay, but why? My question is, why has Tennessee's offense been sputtering to some degree? Because when I compare this Tennessee team, and I'm going to nerd out here on college football for a little bit.
Go for it.
To 2 years ago, Tennessee's team that took the hearts of America when they beat Alabama in that game. Okay, they won 10 games in the regular season. Hendon Hooker was spectacular. You know, now you have more of an inexperienced quarterback in Nico Iamaleava. Okay.
I love when you get the pronunciations down. Like, that's amazing.
Got to.
That's amazing. Go ahead, bro.
He is a special talent. He'll be in the NFL. Nowadays, there are some pass protection problems with Tennessee. 2 years ago, they had a great offensive line. And ultimately, their run game was a little bit better 2 years ago. And I think in part that was because Hendon Hooker, the quarterback 2 years ago, was more willing to scramble aggressively. Like he would all right, I'm hitting my first read, I'm hitting my second read. If it's not out on this side of the field, I'm out.
Yeah.
I feel like Nico's trying to play a little bit perfect.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to scan the whole field. I want to make the perfect read. Bro, you got wheels. You can go. Right? So, and this is college ball.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we see quarterbacks can take over games with their legs at times. So, I have a feeling that Tennessee's offense is going to be efficient and explode to some extent in this game. We know Alabama's defense has struggled against Vanderbilt, against South Carolina, and offensive lines typically perform a little bit better at home.
Yeah.
Tennessee's got the home field advantage.
Yeah.
They don't have the crowd coming down on them. They've gelled to this point because they have some SEC competition. Okay? And now Nico has a little bit more SEC experience. So he's gone through the ups and downs. I think he's ready to put on a show. As for Alabama, and I'll be quick, I expect Kalen DeBoer, who I've been high on, to come out with some new wrinkles offensively.
He better.
And so, in short, how is Tennessee going to stop Jalen Milroe? I know that he's kind of your guy.
Easy. He's one-dimensional.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
all right,
Stop the run, right?
If you protect the edge, by all means, you take away half of his game.
Wow. Okay.
That's that. But I wanted you to get your point out because I'm just sitting over here and I'm just thinking,
you're taking it in.
You made some great points.
Okay.
Which led me I was leaning already in Tennessee's favor because I've watched Alabama all season. Okay. And when it comes to how Alabama plays the game, they like to play dirty. Like not cheating, but you know what I mean? Like they like to get dirty. They're a hands in the mud type of team. Okay. You know what I mean? And they figure out how to win ball games. You know, and we've seen this on display except for Vanderbilt. Yep. So they still have that on their record, right? But with that being said, Peyton, like I think if Tennessee can figure out a way to maintain or keep control of what Jalen Milroe can do as a dual threat quarterback, they put themselves in a great position to win the game. Now, I'm not saying that the Alabama Crimson Tide doesn't have wide receiver threats. Sure. But by all means, like, it starts with the quarterback.
Fair.
So I like...
And to your point, Tennessee's defense has been pretty darn good this year.
Exactly. So you did say that Nico needs to... Well, he plays a bit safe and efficient.
I think he's pressing a little bit.
Right.
He's trying to be perfect.
But this is not the game for that.
Yeah.
If you're not taking risk, you're not going to get the reward, right? Yeah. So you need to risk it for the biscuit in this game, especially if you want to come out on top. So by all means, like I before your rant, I felt like Tennessee was gonna take it, but after that rant, I'm a little bit more intrigued to see how this game goes down because you're high on DeBoer and I am not.
Okay. And I'll give you this. My play is not against the spread. I'm going over again. Points, I know it didn't work out with Colorado, Nebraska, but I'm swinging for the fences. I'm going over again. Over 56.5. I see a little bit of a shootout. 2 years ago, the final score of this game, 52-49. Okay, you've got some creative, clever offensive coaches between Kalen DeBoer and Josh Heupel, some capable quarterbacks. I like over.
Wow.
But that's it for that game.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my game of the week. Yeah. And this is one that I'm really looking forward to. Just based off of stipulation alone. Okay. I'm going with the Lions at the Vikings. That is gonna be an amazing game, right? So the Lions went untamed last week, playing no games against the Cowboys. Like we've talked about that earlier in the week, right? So this is a team that's sitting on their high horse, feeling unstoppable, you know, and feeling like they're one of the best teams in the NFL. And then you also have one of the undefeated teams in the NFL right now in the Minnesota Vikings. All right, so they fresh off a bye week, they get a turn to calm down the Lions, right? And for a team that has a big head, they have an opportunity to go ahead and deflate this team here. The Vikings are, like I said before, they're one of two teams that's undefeated. And if they want to prove that they're a legit team, this game right here is a must-win. This is a must-win.
Even though they're undefeated. Yeah, prove it. In division, I love that.
They're not, as being an undefeated team, I don't think anybody still thinks that they're legit. So if they can come out and figure out a way to beat Detroit, who seems like one of the most dominant teams, one of the most blue-collar teams in the NFL, like this is a team who, going back to what we were talking about with Alabama, this is a team who likes to get dirty. Like, they don't mind taking the rugged road in order to get to where they want to go.
Getting in a fist fight a little bit.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So by all means, the only concern that I have with the Lions is they lost the NFL sack leader and Aiden Hutchinson. So we have to really see what the defensive side of the ball is going to do. And I believe that it's always going to be next man up mentality. And that may sound cliche, but in this situation right here, in order to keep the ball rolling, it has to be that way.
100%.
So that would be my game of the week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Jared Goff has been playing lights out. I don't even want to really talk about David Montgomery because I'm going to get into him a little bit later.
Okay.
But by all means, like, I didn't even mention Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, Come on, bro. Like, the Lions offense right now is looking unstoppable. Yeah. But if you look on the other side of the ball, as far as offensive wise, come on, man. You got Sam Darnold, who's playing for his life.
And I was gonna say he's got a bunch of toys. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson,
and they just signed Cam Akers.
Yeah.
So by all means, they added another weapon to their offense. By all means, so we seen that Sam Darnold, when he throws the ball to Justin Jefferson, it's like he don't care how he's throwing it, where he's throwing it. He knows Justin Jefferson's going to go get the ball. So having that type of mentality has put him in a situation to lead this team to an undefeated record. And I'm not going to pick right now because that would be too stressful for me. But
you're taking my lane. You're just going to sit back and watch.
I think this is going to be an amazing game, Peyton.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
And it's in the 1 o'clock window. You're going to have it on.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, this is
you're not even picking. I like it even more.
Nope.
You just want to enjoy it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, man.
All right, so my NFL game of the week, it's got to be the Super Bowl rematch.
Okay.
Right? The Chiefs and the 49ers. And this is an odd way to start this conversation. I think I'm going to throw you off a little bit here.
This is interesting because you picked this game as your game of the week, and I'm going to let you get back to your point, but you picked this game as your game of the week. But I think everybody's expecting the same outcome in this game.
That brings my point even further into the equation.
Okay,
if you will, because to be honest with you, this feels like a big time regular season NBA game. What do I mean by that? Okay.
It should be heavy hitters, but the 49ers don't have their heavy hitters out there. I mean, they don't have their most heavy hitter.
They're not fully healthy.
Right.
But what I mean by the fact that it feels like a big time NBA regular season game is that the result and the outcome of this game is literally irrelevant. 0%.
That's a great point.
I don't care about who wins.
That is a great point. Yeah.
I don't care. The 49ers can win by 20. The Chiefs can win by 1. I don't really care about that.
Well, I mean, I think that the outcome matters because if you think about everything that Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs organization has been saying, not only do they want to go three-peat, but they want to go undefeated. So if the 49ers can figure out a way to win, but this is huge for that organization not being completely healthy.
Fair.
So I'm not saying that they're not confident in their abilities as a team.
Yeah.
But this can boost your morale a little bit in the locker room.
It can.
And you got to plug and play back like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Once he comes back, then the ball is rolling again.
That's
I'm
fair.
not saying Jordan Mason's not doing a great job carrying the load for him, but by all means, he's no Christian McCaffrey.
That's fair.
So this is a huge spot for the 49ers. And if the Chiefs are sitting, back and thinking that they're going to roll over this team, then they're in for a rude awakening.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason I say it doesn't matter who wins the game is because we know both of these teams are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
49ers are 3-3. They're the favorite in their conference to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl favorites goes Chiefs, Ravens, Niners. Right? And they're 3-3. So
Right.
Vegas doesn't care about their record.
Right.
They're saying, we know this team's going to get it together by the time the playoffs come around, all that stuff. So, in a way, we're going to forget about the result of this game in a few weeks when there's other big games going on. I believe the bigger question for the 49ers in this game, regardless of winning or losing, is whether or not Brock Purdy can go toe-to-toe with and outduel that man. And we know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah.
And the reason I say that is because the Super Bowl was truly there for the tanking last year. Right? I mean, there were some critical throws that Purdy missed on with pressure in his face.
Yeah.
So I believe, here's the thing. I believe that if Mahomes wins in clutch fashion against Purdy, but Purdy comes up small in those big moments, like on third down or in the red zone,
Yeah.
maybe that's a hit to the 49ers psyche. Now, if he loses in shootout fashion and he's going play for play with Pat, and even if they lose, this guy, we got our guy at QB.
Yeah.
Look at him making plays in those critical situations. So I'm not really, as crazy as it sounds, that's why I say it's more like an NBA game. Most NFL games, you got to take the result into the equation because it's an arms race to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
This one, we know both of them are in the playoffs in January. I'm more interested in how it looks.
This is gonna be a really good game. I mean, regardless of all the stipulations that you put on it, and well, like you said, it's irrelevant, but it's a big game.
It is. It's a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's gonna be one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
And just me being an underdog type guy, like I'm definitely pulling for the 49ers, but I'm never betting against Patrick Mahomes. Like I'm never betting against Patrick Mahomes.
And you know what's crazy?
What's up?
The 49ers are favored by 1.5.
Ooh, that
tells you a lot about that roster.
They had to pick somebody, and
they are at home.
So, oh man. Oh,
yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they couldn't figure it out. Like
yeah,
they could not figure it out. So all right, I also have one more game.
Okay.
All right. So my game. This is, and I understand why you stayed away from this game.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go here. This game is a matchup of two teams that's like really on fire right now.
Okay.
And they've been figuring out ways to kind of win games. And this is also another one of those teams that I think are, physical teams, and they don't mind taking a hard route in order to win the game. So this game is the Ravens versus the Bucks.
Oh.
Yes.
Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this game right here will be it's not break. It's not make or break. But if the Bucks can knock off the Ravens, that says a lot about the Bucks organization.
Yeah.
So this game will be huge for them. The Ravens are probably thinking that they're gonna come in and steamroll the Bucks, and I would as well. Yeah. But man, I don't really want to bring Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry into this conversation.
Okay.
But I think the Ravens defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop Godwin, Evans,
Baker,
and this
the backfield.
This backfield of Bucky Irvin.
Yeah.
Like Bucky Irvin. He reminds me of last year's Isaiah Pacheco. The way that he runs is
tough. Like
a baby who just stole snacks out the fridge. Ooh. Like or out the pantry. Like he had no business being where he was at, and he's trying to get out of there as fast as possible.
Running from a lion or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So by all means, like, I am not picking this game as well.
Okay.
But, man, I think this is going to be a shootout game. And
Wait, I love it. You're taking after me.
Man.
You're starting to just watch games to enjoy them.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, I think this has this is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but I think it's going to be a game of field position and who can find a way to score the most points in the second half. I think the first half is going to be a chess match.
Yeah.
And then in the second half is going to be a bit more comfortable. And I'll go ahead and pick it. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Ravens on this game.
I was about to back you on that. I don't know what the line is.
Yeah.
But if it's less than 4, I'd probably go Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Ravens regardless here.
Okay.
Just outright.
Money line.
Yeah, man.
They're rolling right now. They've won 4 straight. Lamar's playing like an MVP. They're feeding Derek the ball. The defense is coming together.
And with that being said, I'm not going to even sit here and act like this is a bad loss for the Bucs. This is not a loss that you hold your head on. Like, this is a loss that you figure out where you went wrong in this game, especially if you keep it close.
Yeah.
And then you move forward in the rest of the season. It's not a
little bit of a measuring stick.
It's not a conference game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
This is one that these guys can it's really an in-season scrimmage at this point. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that Monday night matchup.
That's going to be good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to our next segment, pick and play. All right, this is predictions for athletes expected to have breakout performances for the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and go first on this one.
Sure.
If you guys don't know, we pick a quarterback, an offensive weapon, and a defense. All right, so for my first pick, I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. And I think that was an easy pick, and that's why I picked it. The Commanders are going against the Panthers this weekend. And Jaden Daniels, he's had over 200 yards in every game that he's played this season. Right? Knocking on the door of 300.
Yeah.
And this is the game that I think he does it. I think he has over 300 yards passing this weekend.
The only thing holding him back is his rushing yards.
Yeah.
If he wasn't such a dual threat, he'd already have it.
And I don't think that he has to worry about pocket protection in this game.
Yeah.
I think this is a game. If the Commanders, if they prepare right this week, they can come out and they can
take care of business.
He can be out of the game midway through the fourth quarter.
I'll say end of the third.
I was being humble by saying midway through the fourth quarter, but yes, if that makes I can see him not playing in the fourth quarter of this game.
Yeah,
just knowing the type of quarterback he is and how the offense has been moving this whole season.
For sure,
I like it.
I like it.
So
I'm with
huge game coming from Jaden Daniels.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. Okay. The Eagles' offense has been heavily criticized so far this season, only scoring 20 points against the lowly Browns last week. So I see this as a get-right spot for the Eagles' offense. And as a side note, I think a ton of attention goes towards Saquon Barkley in the run game, especially since this is his homecoming, coming back to the Giants.
Yeah.
So I think Hurts takes advantage of that, gets right, has some dimes to A.J. Brown.
Dang.
I like Jalen Hurts here.
I should have went with Saquon Barkley for my weapon of choice, bro.
You could double up.
Oh, man.
Just like we do at the bar. We just double up.
Hey, no, that's good. No, so for my weapon of choice, I chose David Montgomery. But this guy has been running like a bat out of hell. And not only that, he just signed a huge contract. So, you know when players sign that contract, they tend to take a step backwards. Not him. Last week he went out and he act like he had a point to prove. He proved his worth last week, and I think he continues to do that same thing this week. And I'm gonna say that he's gonna have a hell of a game. And I like David Montgomery last year.
Yeah.
Right. So I've always been a fan. With that being said, I think that he has a breakout game. I don't have stats in particular.
Sure.
But I can easily see him breaking 65, 75 yards.
Yeah.
Having 65, 75 yards total rushing or more in the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. My weapon of choice this week is DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Okay. He had a bit of a rough game last week against the 49ers.
Yeah.
But sometimes receivers have rough games, you know, especially against divisional opponents where the GM of the other team is scouting you out year round, finding the best DBs to affect your game in a way.
Yeah.
You know, so plus the Seahawks had a little extra time to prepare for this one as they played last Thursday.
Yeah.
So they get a little extra rest, a little more time for Geno and DK to get on the same page. I expect him to bounce back in a big way against the Falcons and remind people that he's one of the best receivers in this league.
Whew.
Yeah.
Good take, Peyton.
Yeah.
That's a great take. Yeah, and we all know when DK Metcalf is playing at his best, he's pretty much one of the best receivers in the league. One of the strongest, fastest, and powerful receivers. Like, they don't really make him like that. Not only that, he eats a bag of Skittles and a pack of gummies a day.
That's his meal
like,
for the day.
You know what I mean?
That's his habits, pretty much.
Yeah, and he came out and said that publicly. So, like, this guy is really a freak of nature. He reminds me of Megatron.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, like, just the way that he dominates defenders when it comes to one-on-one matchups. So that's a great pick, Peyton.
I love that one.
Man, I'm a huge fan of DK Metcalf.
Oh yeah.
All right, so for my defense.
Yep.
All right, I think I favorited a team too much here in this whole entire episode.
All right.
But I'm going to stick with them. And it's not that I picked this team or this defense because they're going to have a breakout game. I'm just really interested in seeing how they perform while losing a player. Can you guess who I chose?
The Lions.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, man. So I don't know if they're going to have a big game here, but I will be watching this game closely just to see how the defensive line performs without Aiden Hutchinson in the lineup. So like I said before, this is a next man up mentality type game, and I want to see how the coach draws it up in order to find a way to win a game here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's my defensive pick for
against a pretty potent Vikings offense. They've been pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we know exactly what the receiving core can do in Minnesota. So if the defensive line can figure out a way to create some type of pressure on Sam Darnold, then that lessens the load for the DBs in Detroit. So we'll figure. I just want to watch this game just to see what they have in store. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. So I'm just really interested in seeing this matchup because there's so much on the line. Like, are the Vikings gonna continue to go on to 6-0, or is Detroit gonna hand them their first loss of the season? So
a lot of big questions there.
I'm really interested in this game.
Yeah.
And it shows by all my picks in this whole entire episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my defense would be the Bengals.
Okay.
Simply put.
Versus the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of my point.
Yeah.
Plus, they did play much better last week against the Giants. They kind of put some things together. The defensive backs played a lot better. So I think they'll play better this week.
I think they took Shannon Sharp's advice and stopped talking trash and just went out, just found ways to win games, even though it's only 2. But I understand.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. They needed to just walk the walk and not talk the talk.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let your walking do the talking for you. All right, please.
Yeah.
All right. So those were our pick and play choices for the week. All right. So now we're gonna get to under pressure. Peyton, I'm gonna let you take this. First. Picking under most pressure is a look at teams or players or a coach who needs a win more than anything else.
Okay, I promise you guys, Russ hasn't seen my notes, and I guarantee you, he could guess who I have for the team that is under the most pressure.
Just say it.
The Jets.
Oh, wow. We didn't match on this one. I thought
really?
we was going to match on this one.
Oh, shoot.
I literally thought we was going to match on this one.
That would have been your second guess.
Dang.
For sure. Who was your first guess?
I'm going to let you get to your point.
Okay.
I'm going to let you get to your point.
So, like I said on Tuesday's Live, man, like after firing Robert Saleh, even though the Jets had one of the better defenses in the NFL, according to the metrics and really according to the eye test, like you could watch them, they stuffed the Vikings in the second half of that game over in London, and then he got canned. Okay, after acquiring Devontae Adams, which kind of made everybody forget about their Monday night loss to the Bills, and they've lost 3 straight, they're 2-4. They've dug themselves a hole. And like I said with the Jags, I kind of planted my flag with Aaron Rodgers. Well, this is his moment. He's got his guy now.
Hey, man.
How many more excuses can we come up with?
I just want everybody at home to go back and watch like some of the episodes from the preseason that we had. I saw this coming. Devontae Adams is a hell of an addition to that offense, but I think my statement still holds true. The Jets will probably go 8-9 this season. It doesn't really matter. It don't matter what they do. They probably gonna go 8-9 this season.
Ooh.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
At least I have my Jaden Daniels take because he is the best player in the NFC East right now.
And
but
it's nothing to take away from the Jets as a team. Like the players that's on the field, they have. They have weapons that I would want on my team.
Sure, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
I'm not saying that they don't have amazing talent on that team.
Right.
I just think it's bigger than what they thought it was. They thought Aaron Rodgers was the key piece in order to bring them success in New York, or New Jersey, no matter what you want, however you want to flip the coin, right? But I don't think that's it. You know what I mean? I think their issues are deeper than that. You know? So, man.
No, that sums it up for me. All eyes are on you, Aaron. That's pretty much it. Who's under the most pressure for you, man?
All right, so be prepared for a fireback question here. All right, so I'm coming to you with a question.
All right.
But my team that's under the most pressure, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
They are playing a team that has the same record as them. And is by far way worse of a team as them.
Correct.
So my question to you here, Peyton, is who is the X factor in the Jaguars' ability to win this game?
Gabe Davis.
Okay.
One of the Jaguars receivers.
Yeah.
For some reason, he and Trevor Lawrence have not been on the same page. It was reported that even early on in the Colts win, the Jaguars' only win so far this season, Gabe was getting into it with Trevor on the sideline after the first possession. I think once those two get on the same page, they'll have a better chance at winning. So I like that you picked him.
Gabe Davis came from Buffalo. It's kind of hard.
He's an interesting player. Like, when you look at him, you kind of see a tight end wide receiver hybrid, but he's still pretty quick. He can create some separation, but I just want to see him buy in 100%.
It's kind of hard to go from a brute quarterback like Josh Allen. I don't know why I call this man Kyle. It's kind of hard to go from a brute quarterback in Josh Allen to a finesse quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So I can understand. Trevor Lawrence is not scrambling in the pocket and trying to make plays like Josh Allen is.
Well, you know what's funny? It's funny that you bring that up because I don't know if you remember this or not, but a couple of weeks ago I said I want to see Trevor play more like Josh Allen.
Yep.
Because we forget that he's 6'6", 225.
I think he forgets that.
Yeah. So, to your point.
No, so I think this is a must-win game, and no offense here, but this is the
season,
the battle of the bottom.
It is
of the NFL when it comes to Jacksonville, but they have the advantage. It's a home game in London where they're supposed to be the home team. They play the most games in London, so by all means, like they probably have a bigger fan base over there, than anything.
Yeah, they got to get it done.
and I don't know the logistics of the team, but I don't see them coming back here and then going back to London. So they've been there for 2 weeks, right?
Right.
So
get it done.
There's no excuses. They lose this game, Peyton.
Now you can start.
Peyton, I'm firing you.
That's fair.
If they lose
I'll
this
allow
game.
that. I will allow that.
If they lose this game, I'm gonna fire you.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
And yeah, everybody has to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's my team for under the most pressure. Yeah, man.
Cool.
All right. So my favorite segment of the show, of our full port episode, is the coach 'em up segment, and that's next, man. We step into the shoes of the coach.
Yeah.
Offering strategies for a team to turn things around and win a big game.
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to go or you want to go?
I'll go ahead and go because
Okay.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Okay. Same here.
I hope I get some laughs out of this one.
Okay. I can't wait
because my team for coach 'em up this week is the Cowboys. Do you know who they play this week?
I'm about to walk off.
What? Was that your team?
No, it's not. But
well, do you know who they play this week?
Who do the Cowboys play this week?
They have a bye week.
But you know, I knew that, but you threw me for a curveball when you picked them. I'm like, okay, all right.
You were probably looking at the slate today, and now you're thinking like, wait, who are the Cowboys playing? No.
Yeah, right, they don't have a game. Okay.
Yeah. They need to have a hard week of practice, okay? And guess what? They play the 49ers next. After this bye week, if the 49ers are coming off of a loss against the Chiefs, they're going to be mad and angry at it as a 3-4 team, and that game is in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
They better be ready to go. That's all I'm saying.
That is a historic rivalry right there. I don't think it gets enough credit. Man, if you think about Niners,
late 80s, 90s.
Come on, man. That
catch.
That is great. That is great for
Troy
TV right
Aikman, Emmitt Smith, all those guys.
Yeah, they don't have none of those guys anymore, unfortunately. Like they don't have any of those guys anymore. So Steve Young, Jerry Rice, they don't have any of those guys anymore. So this right here is
if I were to coach them up, and I've said this multiple times on this show, right? What's football 101? Let's go to the pee-wee level. Let's go to the high school level. Let's go to the college level. If you're trying to coach a defense, what's football 101?
Tackling.
Stop the run.
Well,
Alvin Kamara came in that building. Derrick Henry came in that building. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs came in that building.
Not only did they come in that building, but they took the keys and they locked the door behind them.
Took the keys to the city. They had a party in Dallas. All three of them.
That was a great pick, Peyton.
Yeah.
That was a great pick.
On the bye week.
That was good. That was real good. That was
all right,
real good.
Who's yours?
All right, so I didn't go that witty. But my team to coach them up this week is the Texans.
Oh.
All right, they're playing Green Bay this weekend.
Yeah.
And oh man,
that's another great game at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I like this team, but in order to win, they got to figure out how to get Green Bay's offense off the field. What is Green Bay most dominant at this season?
A lot. Running the ball, Jordan Love play action, a lot of things. They're pretty good.
So running the ball is what I went with. They're number 2 in the NFL at running the ball, right? And I know we opened the show up saying that we don't talk about stats that much, but when you're sitting at the top of the NFL, right? Yeah, you're number 2 in rushing the ball. So by all means, we know that that's something that they're gonna come out and do, and they're gonna do it a lot. Yep. Right. So if they can figure out how to stuff the gaps and figure out ways how to stay in front of the sticks as far as the Texans defense, if they can stay in front of the sticks, I'm talking 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, somewhere around there. I think they put themselves in a great position to win the game. They put that first, the game will fall in their lap.
I know you pointed out the Lions-Vikings game. Mm-hmm. I think I might be watching that one even closer. I mean, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
They're almost mirror images of each other.
Yeah.
Like the effortless accuracy, the mobility, the leadership, like, dang.
I wouldn't say they mirror images of each other. One is in a better situation in CJ Stroud than Jordan Love.
If you took each of them in a vacuum, I think it's hard to pick one of them. Like, they're both great.
Okay, so before we get up out of here, if you switch quarterbacks on the team, would it be the same outcome as what it is right now?
For some reason, something's telling me I trust CJ Stroud's intangibles a little bit more.
Okay.
His ability to, like, take over a locker room and, like, lead men.
Yeah.
I'm taking that. I think Jordan's a little more of a kid. But they're both men, but Jordan's a little bit more of a kid. That's how I'd put it.
Bro,
what say you?
I'm not going to lie. Like, I think that Jordan Love, he has proven to me time and time again that he's just a baller.
Well, he is.
Like, he's just a baller, and no matter who you put on his team, he gonna find a way to win some ball games.
I'll say this right now. You can clip this. Like, as far as talent goes, and I know he was a late first-round pick, he's got top 5 in the league tools. Yeah. Like, physical traits and tool set.
Oh, here's a bold take for you, though.
Okay.
I think if Jordan Love was on the New York Jets, they probably would have a better record.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how
they'd be 4-2.
I think that he would figure out a way to win the game.
They'd have beat Bo Nix.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Man, good show, man.
Another good one, bro.
Good episode today, man. Yeah. We appreciate you guys for sticking around with us. If you made it this far in the episode, go ahead and drop a football in the comments. Drop a football emoji in the comments, and let's see who made it this far in the episode.
Because like I said, this is the last solo football weekend. We got basketball coming up.
Man, looking forward to that, man. And I think we should start doing secret emojis at the end of shows just to see who watches this far.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right. So, man, with that being said, man, for myself, I'm the host, Russ. My guy, Peyton. Peyton, anything you want to say to the fans while that's sitting at home?
I know I always say the same thing, but we truly do appreciate you guys that are out there watching us each and every episode, and we encourage you to engage. And by the way, he's an expert too. I know he doesn't say it much, but
I do what I do when I do what I do, you know? So I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
But until next time, we are the Sportaholics. This was the full pour, man. Catch you guys next week after all the action, man. Y'all stay locked in for the weekend. It's going to be a big one.
It's a big one.
It is going to be a big one, man. College football, NFL is going crazy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all let us know how y'all feel about the weekend. Until next time, man. We out.
We out.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, man.